Ed Parcaut here, Brian Galke, and we are ACES53. How's it going, Brian?
Going good. Nice
Good.
weather here in Orlando.
Well, of
Yes.
course, Orlando. It's now is the time to be there. Any other time of the year is not the time to be there. So
Right.
that's just my take
No,
on
now
it.
it's good. Yeah. Well, because it's not too humid out. Like I went to the gym here earlier, and then after that, I went and laid out by the pool for a little bit, get some vitamin D, and now I just got to get ready for the VIP event tonight, and then we speak tomorrow.
Okay. And like everybody, bear with us. Brian is, like I said, he's on his ear pods and everything else. We'll get him to get some wired ones when he's traveling. I actually didn't even know you're going to be here today because I was just going to go over some of the other stuff that I've learned this week. Because Tuesday, I talked about different things about course creation and stuff. I don't know if I really got into it, but I wrote a GPT. We've used Chat GPT forever. I've done it just, I guess I would say half-assed, meaning that I did it a certain way. And now I've actually learned, we all knew that you could do it, but I never did it. And I created, because I needed to create information for my website. And I'm like, is there a chat GPT I can make that will do it automatically? And then if anybody else needs to do it, they can just use the same thing. And there was, and I created one for my reverse mortgage. And then I did one for a podcasting course. It asks you, what do you want, podcasting, about a course build. And then I created a course builder, and the course builder was one that you can put in what it's going to ask you the questions of what are you trying to build? And then it'll help you walk you through the whole thing, building it out. And I was like, I wonder if this is any good. Actually worked really well. I was surprised. So if anybody needs that GPT, I'll send the link to them because it's mine. So I'm not going to sell.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's the crazy part, is just all the things that you can do. People think it's still just write a letter for me. No, I mean, you showed on one of the previous examples. I can't remember if we did it, if we shared the screen with everybody or not. How you went and had it create tables for you, all kinds of stuff. It's helped you modify your book. So people just think it's, oh, well, help me write an email, help me write, copy. So much more that it can do. And if you go and you look at a lot of the people who are doing courses as AI experts, all they're doing is exactly what you just did. And that is, they're creating their version of GPT. So like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi have, I think theirs is called Gigi. And Gigi, or whatever the name of it is it downloaded all their information, and you can ask it questions, but it helps you, who's your avatar, all these questions that businesses need to think about.
Right. And I could do, and I realized I could do the same thing because we talked about it before, make your own bot of you. So I put in all the different VA underwriting and all the other stuff that I need, had it download my book, and they're also for my voice. And anybody can ask it questions on anything, reverse mortgages, VAs, all that stuff. And it will answer from the information that was given, but in my voice. And people go, what? Yeah. So because that's the whole, like, you're going to write a book, or you are writing a book, and you have some extra chapters you want to finish it. Huh?
Yeah. I said I need to finish it. I'm just saying.
Let me explain to you. So take that book that you've done so far, drop it into Chat GPT and say, scan this, figure my voice, help me write my last 2 chapters.
Interesting.
You follow me?
Yeah.
That's what
mine's can't do that yet. I can have it add fluff to it because mine's built around the course, because it'll be a user manual or work manual as well.
I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop saying it can't. Just see what it will do, and take in what helps you certain parts of it is what I'm getting at. Because you can then help you go, okay, now here's my book. Help me write a user manual from my book. And that's so a lot of people don't understand that you can actually create one of these GPTs to actually help you write your book, and that you can set one up to help you write any book. Yeah, it just has to be smarter than it. Can I show you what I did on my podcast course? Do you care? Do you want to see?
Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, let's see it.
So where is it? Present arms, screen, window, not that one, not that one. There it is. All right. So if you see here, it says create course builder, create a custom course. And then you go ready to get started. What do I do first? Click on that. So it's asking you to define your subject and your audience first.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we on, let's see, on what do we want as an example? Give me an example. What subject do you want?
Do a webinar, since you've already done one for podcasts. Do one for doing your first webinar.
What subject first? Is it going to be on webinars?
Yeah.
Okay, webinar.
Since we're going to the holidays, people aren't going to be doing. There's going to be a lot of people doing webinars over the holidays because people don't want to travel in December.
So define the subject. You're going to do digital marketing, mental health, productivity tips. What is our webinar focused on?
I don't know. Pick something. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see that far. It's
All
small.
Right, so
small on my
I'm going to
screen.
do. How about this? Reverse mortgages. And then it says, "Who is our?"
Ooh, wait.
What?
No. Let's make it fun for everybody. Put what a lot of people are gonna have to go to Christmas dinners, company dinners, and things like that. So do one on how to survive a networking event.
So, if I don't spell it right, deal with it. 2, who are we hoping to attract? Industry leaders, professionals.
Yes. Yeah, professionals.
And like I said, one thing that's nice about ChatGPT, you don't have to spell it right. And the third thing is set the webinar goals. What do you want? Practical tips, learn a new skill, get inspired. I would say get inspired.
Yeah.
And then what's our fourth one? Duration and format. How long? 20 minutes. We'll do a short one. How about will both be lecture, interactive session, or question and answer?
Lecture with question and answer.
Should have my wife do this. She types much faster.
I'm not used to. I'm not having my big monitor when I'm looking at this. That's right. I'm trying not to squint and look angry.
So it's networking survival guide, thriving at a professional event, webinar outline, welcome attendees, introduce yourself, share anecdote about networking success, brief overview of attendees will learn, how to overcome common networking fears, core content, prepare for success, engaging at the event, follow up like a pro, blah, blah, question and answer. So there you go. It created your webinar. And you can now take this and say you wanted it to create slides for you, right? And you had one of these chat GPTs that you can create slides with, and it's yours. You can add it. I don't know if you know this, but you can daisy chain them. You add an @ sign.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you add an @ sign, and then you can click in to what you want it to do after that. So like say I need a logo. And I don't know if it's going to do it, but because I don't, if it was one like I created this way that made the next step, now I could say, okay, create slides, and it's going to create the next step. And then you can say, okay, now I want the advertisement for it. I want to do Facebook ads, and you had created one of these chat GPTs that do your Facebook ads because a lot of people have them, and that you can you can keep daisy chaining it so you don't have to keep putting the information back in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the best thing I found out is about everything I've done is the fact that you can daisy chain them. And what happens is whatever you have, I guess I can't point on my screen, but whatever you have up in here is what you can daisy chain. So it really has to be yours or stuff that you own. You can't do it down here. It's got to be up here, these ones. And these are the ones you create to do certain things. But like if okay. You follow what I'm getting at?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what most people don't know you can do is the daisy chaining stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do it.
Oh yeah. So I watched the thing, and they had it where it created the webinar stuff, all the questions they ask for their web. I'm sorry, they were redoing the website, or actually they wanted to create a website, so it asked them all what's the website for, all the stuff, and it created all the content that it needed for that and everything. I have that one here, the podcast coaching one I created, same thing. And the reverse mortgage. But then they had it create the follow-up sequence for emails for the website, for everything on the website, and then it had they connected it to their ads for Facebook to create for the site.
Yeah.
So step by step by step, so they didn't have to recreate each wheel every time they did it. That was what was amazing to
So it
me.
helped you do your ads and everything else?
Yeah, if you create the thing to do the they
Right.
have so you can create these to rewrite your ads the way you want it written. And what people don't know is, so you can go to Chat GPT here, and I'll go back to it in a second. But help me, you can ask it to help you create the GPT of what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And the prompt. And then you take that prompt and put into and create your own your GTP. I know it's all sounds foreign to everybody because it's brand new, and I'm not going to go step by step here for 20 minutes on how to do it. If somebody wants to know, we can do it on a follow-up episode about how to do it, or you can just go to there's these guys I follow on and YouTube that do this stuff, and I was like just shocked by the stuff that they showed with the AI bots. So what you can create these things that they are now working for you instead of you having to do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's what we talked about before of what you can learn and skill. You can replace so many things that you used to have to go to other professionals for to get done. You used to have to copywriters used to make 300,000 a year. Now copywriters are fighting to get to. I mean, there's still some really good copywriters that are out there, but now that you can go and just say, "Hey, I want you to write this," and put it in the tone of like Ogilvy, who was the original marketing guy. It's people have to start focusing on how do I use AI to improve my business, like you're doing it with you, and then what are the skills that will keep me in business. So it's people really need to sit back and evaluate what's my current career, how can it be replaced by AI, and not will it or if it. What are the ways that it can potentially be replaced, and then how can I use AI to stay ahead, like with what you're doing. So you mentioned earlier before we hopped on that Tuesday, how you put together a lot of your podcasting course was through AI.
It was the one I showed. I used this to help me write everything I needed to write to a certain point. But I just showed today, the one we just did, right? We created a webinar, but that you could have said instead of that, you create a course on blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
And what's nice is that it helps you because I mean, you don't know all this stuff to ask sometimes. And a lot of us we just need something to get us going and start the process.
Yes.
And one thing they talk about, if you're doing a course, make sure there is an audience for your course and people want it first before you put all this time and energy into it, because there might not be a market for it or nobody wants it. And there's nothing worse than making a course that nobody wants.
Yeah. Test market. That's the number one thing in all the books. Like even when Russell Brunson and them were talking about with funnels and everything is test it before you spend a lot of money on ads, do anything of that nature. All right. So curiosity question for you. You mentioned, 2025, you're going to start attending more events. What do you think with AI becoming so much more mainstream and it constantly having new capabilities added to it? Do you think that there's going to be a higher value attending events because you need to have face-to-face again with people?
I think it's going to be on everything. Any large ticket item that's going to get sold will be face-to-face only or through video sales. Nobody is going to take phone calls or call people for that anymore. Because I mean, I set up if I miss a call that it goes to the voice bot for high level, and the guy is not as good as the girl, but I didn't like the way the girl sounded. And it's not perfect, but it's better than this is a voicemail, or this is hit 1 for sales, 2 for marketing, 3 for this.
Debating my existence with travel.
Yeah. So, but you could set it up for your stuff, and people when they go to your website, if they wanted to contact you for calls, you can and then have one of them set up. And the prompt that they give you, I took and dropped into Chat GPT and told it to create this. And it actually can answer some rate questions. But when someone asks about rate, it says, I can't really tell you where the rates are today. And I'm going to add in because I'm not licensed. And so I will get you to the team who can handle that.
That's smart.
Yeah, so I've it's not. Give it another 6 months and you won't know it's a person. I mean, not a person.
Yeah, that's just scary to me. We were talking to dinner last night of you don't know what to believe, who's real, who's not. I don't know if you've seen all the just AI memes about the election and everything else that are out there. It's scary how realistic everything is getting. And I know I beat this to death, but if people aren't working on soft skills learning to read body language, getting into rooms, how to talk to people, networking, they're just going to be left behind because so many things will be able to be replaced. But building relationships is what AI can't do yet.
Yeah. Well, and I'm taking what you've taught and converting it to podcasting.
Yeah.
How to connect, and because I told you that already, I warned you.
Yeah.
I'll give you 20% of the revenue. Because when you tell people how to use it, right? Did you ever tell them, well, you can use it for connecting with people when you're hosting your podcast and how to ask questions? I guarantee you've never said that on stage.
Oh no, well, not on stage, but when we're in person, like we're talking about now, because I spoke at a corporate event in Chicago. What day is today? Monday, and that's what we're talking about. Is they very rarely meet in person. Everything's over Zoom. We're talking about you have to start using this in Zoom if you want to get in the room with customers later on, because that's the whole thing. Is it used to be the gatekeeper was the receptionist, somebody working at the front desk, the administrative assistant, you name it. Now Zoom is the barrier. If you don't win somebody over on Zoom, they will never bring you into the room. And you've got to start using everything at your disposal.
Because what I've learned is I have a free beginner course for podcasting, right? And then each one of the courses after that starts to cost more money. And one of the courses that's going to cost the most money is how to connect with your guest on the other side through the facial, through your phone, whatever you call that. I have it written down.
Decoding faces.
Oh no, it's more than that. It's what's the actual not legal term, but whatever you call it. The one you texted me the other day when I was asking you when I was in Vegas doing
physiognomy.
Chat GPT stuff, because I wrote a course through that when I was walking around with my wife when she was shopping at the outlet center. It's like, put your phone down. I'm like, we're just walking around. I'm just creating a course. Come on, leave me alone.
Yeah. We're supposed to be here for your anniversary.
We were. That was the day before or day after. No, it would have been the day before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been Tuesday.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did we talk about how the rest of Vegas went?
No, we haven't talked anything. You've
all
been
went
busy.
well.
Yeah. I mean, we had a great time that night.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say I saw she tagged you in the pictures of renewing the vows.
Yeah, and then the
what
next
you
day
guys do while you're out there?
Then the next day we went to the Grand Canyon and ended up taking a helicopter ride down in it, which was
nice.
Yeah,
Sorry, didn't have my do not disturb on.
So I mean, which was it was a Grand Canyon. It was great. It's scary to a certain point in certain places because you could fall off. My wife was freaking out because I was so close to the edge when we went after that. We were at another place. She's like, get back from the edge. I'm like, dude, there's more steps and steps down there. I'm not going to fall. I mean, just my phone might go, but I'm not going. And she had to walk away because she couldn't watch me. I'm like, we have life insurance on me.
The Cliffs of Moher were kind of the same thing. It was you walk along these little roads, but then the wind was blowing really strong too. And at one point, I had to hunker down because I thought, I'm going over the edge.
Yeah, well, today is Thursday, and I got a Salvation Army kettle kickoff today.
What is that?
That's where, so Salvation Army, the little pot, the red pots, they're out in front of different stores where you put money in.
Yeah.
Those little pots. Well, we started this, I think, in Modesto before anybody else, and it's a kettle kick where we all go in everybody from the community comes in, and we put money in the pots, and we see how much we can raise that day. I think our average is about $200,000 we will raise today, and that's in Stanislaus County, Modesto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I have to go because I'm past president. Immediate past president.
Gotcha.
For the table. I'm like, I can't go, but okay. I got to be out of here at 12. I told the guy, I'm like, I'm just going to get up from the table at this time and walk out like I'm using the restroom. I'm not coming back. He goes, oh, you're doing an Irish goodbye.
Yeah, an Irish goodbye. Yeah.
And the reason is because I have at 12:45, I have my intake on for a VA thing I'll talk to you about later.
Okay.
I signed up for one of those. They actually gave me a week for free to make sure it's something that will work for me. And then after that, it's $650 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For one team. You can then, if you want to add more teams to get stuff done faster. So their stuff is about 48 hours. Like we doing a new website or whatever. It's 48 hours. Great. The style, all the other stuff. And then each page is about 24 hours. After that, so it just depends. That's not what I'm using it for. I'm using it for other stuff, but I'm just saying that's because I was like, well, if it's only that much, they can't be running through the stuff fast.
Yeah.
Right. But even if
it 48 hours.
Yeah. But I was like, even if it was only one website a month,
yeah,
that's still cheap.
Yeah. That's very, very cheap.
Yeah. Compared to what we're used to paying. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
And that's,
that's
how I look at it too. And it's like, okay, because I have a bunch of logos I created through ChatGPT that I need edited and changed a little bit, because ChatGPT does a decent job coming up with the idea, but it doesn't make a perfect logo.
Right. We demoed it a week ago. You brought it up and you made edited changes to it while it was live. Yeah.
And a lot of people like that, to see how to make those changes. For that video. But I create I don't know if I told you, but we had a Holy Cow Racing we had for years, and I redid that whole logo. I think we talked about that too. But that one they did amazing. Its character was freaking amazing. They can do. So I wonder if you can drop an actual photo in there and see if it will create an actual caricature for you.
We tried that. So Jim Edwards and I, when we were at Go High Level, he was like, "Oh, you got to be able to upload a picture and do it." I'm like, "No, not yet." And he tried it, I think, in Perplexity, and we tried it in ChatGPT, and we couldn't get it to work.
Supposedly is it Gemini?
Well, Gemini, Google just released an updated version of it. Yeah.
Because one of them, I think it's Gemini, it'll create your actual website for you.
Oh, that reminds me, sorry, ADD moment. There's a Chrome add-on I'll have to send you that will actually hit it'll hit 6 of the AI bots at the same time and give you different answers. So it'll pop up 6 different squares, and it'll be like ChatGPT, Perplexity. So when you type in a question, you can see which AI service gives you the answer you want. So I'll have to remember to text that to you here in a minute.
So you can control your answers, is what you're saying, to manipulate.
And you can see, well, it's like, do you just use Google, or do you use Google and Bing? Not nobody really uses Bing, but you get the idea.
What's Bing?
Yeah.
That's Chandler Bing, right? We're talking about.
Yes, exactly. But hey, I just saw the organizer for the event here walk by, so I'm going to go catch him. And then we've got a VIP meetup here.
You're done with us? It's only been 22 minutes.
I am. I know. But speaking of which, are we going to be back next week for Tuesday?
Tuesday we'll be back if you're around. Thursday we won't, because that's Thanksgiving, and then we'll be back the weekend.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. So we'll see you on. We'll be back in your home studio on Tuesday.
Yep, I am home Saturday, and I am on the home till January. Then I got figured out from there.
Yeah, and I just fixed my internet, and I'm at 900 by 900. So I'll talk to you about that later. Call me later.
Cool. All right. See you.
Bye. Everybody make a great day. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Sorry it was so short. Bye, Brian. Get out of here. All right.
See you.
And we'll talk to you on Tuesday. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.